Hello, Thomas. Welcome back to day two for Glorious Goodwood. I'm looking on my past performances here to see if I can find Glorious Goodwood in the results for the day, but here they are. So you had a really nice one today, Thomas, in race number 3, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
Did you have that one ice cold?
Yes.
Ice cold trifecta. You gotta love the ice cold tries. I know you had when I popped it open because I was working on getting ready for the morning show. When I popped it open, I'm like, wait a minute, Sandrine, that was Tom's horse. Wait a minute, Kinsrose, that was Tom's horse. Wait a minute, Pogo, wasn't that Tom's horse too? And then I looked and I said, holy hell, it was indeed. And then $491.90, Thomas. Congratulations.
I don't complain about the exacta.
No, the exacta was $102 for $20.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
For $1 for $20.
For $1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many times did you have it, Thomas?
Well, I had the exacta for $5, and
nice.
Try just a dollar, just a $6 box.
Hey, $6 box you had at one time. That's a $1,000 race for you. That made for a nice day.
Yes, it did, and it helped my bank account. Get myself ready for our field trip.
Yes, off to Saratoga. Speaking of which,
now we're going to be stopping at Jack's Thistle Downs first, and then we're going to go to Presque Isle, and then we're going to go to Finger Lakes, and hopefully I'm not broke by the time I get to Saratoga.
Well, basically, you're going to go to all the C&D tracks, so when you get to Saratoga, it's going to be like at the Taj Mahal.
Yep. The house.
Well, what it is you want to get all the T-shirts out of the way, because from what I understand, when we get to Saratoga, I was talking to our Chris P today. He's there now, and he said he got a box, but you have to wear pants and a shirt.
Yes.
What? No shorts? What?
No shorts. Hopefully it won't be killer
400 degrees in the middle of August.
Yeah, but I've been there, and those days are long, and you want a place to be able to sit down and relax. And I don't really want to do the mad scamper for the picnic tables. It's like the running of the bulls at Pamplona,
but I'm sure more dangerous.
Probably, yes.
Indeed, for sure. All right. Well, before we move on today to Glorious Goodwood, while we're here, let's talk a little bit about what's going to go on tonight. In just about 2 hours from now, we'll be sitting down with jockey Romero Mirage. That will be at 8 o'clock Eastern, right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. So while you're here, kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button. You don't want to miss any of our interviews. You don't want to miss any of our pick shows. Able to hit the late pick 4 again today at Colonial Downs. So that's, I think, 7 out of 8 days I've had a pick 4 ticket, make it from start to finish and collect. And then, of course, you don't want to miss Tom's $491 trifectas or his $102 exactas 5 times on our foreign Fridays. But this is a foreign week for Glorious Goodwood. So it's supposed to be good again tomorrow. The weather's supposed to be nice again tomorrow. So what did you see today in terms of any biases that folks might be able to exploit tomorrow?
The first races being going 1 through 4, the winners were coming from more of the middle of the track. And then we went the straightaway, and the gate was set up on the stand side. In the 2-year-old race, the rail helps 2-year-olds because they're still learning. And the winner was a Godolphin horse that really it looked like it needed that rail because it went to the lead and didn't look back. Mm-hmm. So they were. The gates. My understanding is the gate will begin on the stand side for the sprints, and those turn races. They were coming from a little bit back, mid pack, not dead classed. There's nothing coming from the clouds. It was all mid pack types. So that were winning on those longer races, and no froners hung on in that. Only 1 2-year-old was went one gate to wire. So it's kind of interesting.
So tactical speed, not closers, middle of the pack, horses that can hug the leader and then run by the leader late.
Seems that way, yes.
All right, so that's what we'll be looking for tomorrow. The first race we're going to look for a winner in Hopefully another big trifecta from Tom. We're going to call you Big Tri Tom from here. It is the 7 furlong Whispering Angel Oak Tree Stakes, Group 3, fillies and mares, Class 1, 3 years old and up. This race is going to start at approximately 9:25 a.m. And if we take a good look at this Glorious Goodwood racetrack, which is kind of like a cursive L, maybe, right? As we talked about yesterday. 7 furlongs, going to start here. And then I guess they're going to come down here and make the inside turn, Tom, again? Or the outside turn?
Make that outside turn.
And then swing around here, up the straightaway to the finish line. Tom, which horse in day 2 is going to start race 2 by finishing first?
We should point out that when they hit the straightaway, they've got about a little over 3 furlongs to run. So you want some testing. You go up and down, and then you got to hit that straightaway
off that tight turn.
Yeah, off that turn. And again, gate position is important. But the outside draws were doing okay yesterday, and even in the sprint races, they did very well. So I've got a mixture of where my horses are going to come from. So I'm going to start with number 9.
Got a little bit of this and a little bit of that, eh?
Yeah, I'm going to start with number 9, whose name I'm going to mispronounce.
Aliyah?
Yeah, I think so. Aliyah has draw 9. This is a horse that has started 4 times, has 2 wins and a second. It's coming off a layoff. And it ran, the last race was a Group 3. It lost it was a good second to Fast Attack. Won its maiden and then a handicap race, and then went to this. I mean, I tossed her listed race at Sandown. She was 15 lengths behind in Spiral, who was the 2-year-old horse of the year. So yeah, that's a pretty good horse. Mm-hmm. The thing is, she's coming off that layoff, but why are they putting her in here? I don't know. And Group 3, it's not the strongest bunch. So I'm thinking if she's fresh and she's ready, you're going to get a bit of a price on this one.
20-1 right now. And the number's going up. Started at 16-1, up to 18-1 to 20-1. So that looks like that price will keep on going up.
And Charlie Hills did have a winner today. So I'm thinking he may have one here too. Mm-hmm. Number 8, Soft Whisperer is my next choice. Has draw 16. 15 starts, has 7 wins and 2 seconds. Won 2 in a row after returning from Dubai, where it didn't do so well. This one tends to be a front runner, so it's going to be up on or near the pace. She's going to have to be used a bit early because of the draw, and I think this one is rounding into form, at least to hit the board. Mm-hmm. Again, we'll see if she can hang. If she doesn't hang, or they got to get her right in the right place. This is the Godolphin other trainer, who used to do better than Valerie Appleby, but now not so much. He still has his winners though. Mm-hmm. And Godolphin's throwaways are good. I mean, let's face it. My final choice is number 16, Shamaron. His draw 5. This horse has 3 starts, 2 wins, and a second. It won last out at Perry Longchamp in a listed race going a mile. It was just by a head, but it was enough because it was a really interesting race. The horse was placed forwardly, dropped back, obviously saved some energy, and then the horse came on like gangbusters. So we got position early, and then the jockey just sat on him very comfortably, and that was Christian Sauvignon. And he placed in a Group 3 at St. Cloud, and then he won her first race, I should say, at St. Cloud. She's going to obviously a shipper, French horse coming in, and Frankie Dettori will take the mount.
I'm going to start somewhere else, Tom. I'm going to go at number 12, Heredia, as my top choice. Right now, 5-1. Looks like it's been bouncing around between 9-2 and 5-1. So pretty steady in its in the play from the punters. But it's been across the distance 2 times, won both of them, 5 races, won 4 of them, has a third in there. The third was last time out. we'll see if perhaps it could get back to its winning ways. My next one, I'm all outside here. Number 15, Ascula is my second choice. This horse right now, 10-1. It looked like it opened up at 10-1, 11-1, 10-1, 8-1, 15-2. So this one is steadily getting some backing. Another horse that's done pretty well at the quirky distance, hasn't really won. I mean, he did win 1 out of 5 at a second and 3/3. Do like the fact that last time out, the horse finished by a nose with William Buick in the irons, and William gets back again. Seems like the horse likes to finish second with William in there. So that's why I put him second, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah, perfect, right? Sometimes I have some logic to what I do, and sometimes it's just pure guesswork. Number 16, your third pick's my third pick. So guess where it's going to finish, Tom?
Oh, fourth.
Probably first.
Yeah.
But I'm taking 10-1 first, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the proverbial I ain't done nothing wrong horse ran 3 times. It's 3/4 of a length away from being undefeated. Hasn't run since June, but did come off the bench, if so to speak, in its debut, and probably ran its strongest race in terms of its finish. And then my final horse is number 14, so I'm way outside here. Miss Carol Ann at 16-1. Miss Carol Ann is one of those horses that has done well at the distance as well. 4 times out, 2 wins. So it's one of those horses that, you know, these horses that just kind of, they're like light switch horses is the best way to describe them. They're either on or they're off. And when they're off, they're awful. It's the beginning for that. But when they're on, you know, you kick yourself for not having that horse because you'll see it either puts in a great effort or a horrible effort. Nice effort last time. Going to run, you ran 7 furlongs, about 2 seconds faster than it did in its previous race. It's done okay on a good surface. So yeah, I put it forth because it's 50-50 that the horse has an on or off race. But if it has an on race at 16-1, and that horse opened up at 12-1, 14-1, so the odds are creeping higher, has a decent shot, I think, on a good day to maybe get the job done. And I saw this interesting thing, Tom. Have you seen this predictor?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so I clicked it for the first race. I didn't click it for any other, and I did it after I did my pick. So the only thing I know is Heredia is the one that won. But watch this. This is pretty neat, I think. Let's pull it down here. Racing Post. Bam. There they go. Ba-dum. So Heredia is the winner. Ascula is, it looks like second place to me, or maybe Soft Whisper second place, with Ascula in third. Roman missed the horse neither one of us talked about, and Bounce the Blues. So there's a third set of eyes on this race for you. Some AI eyes.
Let's face it. This is a tough race. It's
16
not a great
horses.
it's not a great group with Group 3 horses, but it is. There's a mixed bag in here. And right now, the favorite is 5-1. So if you can figure this race out, you're going to get paid.
Well, that's why they come here, Tom, for us to figure it out so they can get paid. And certainly you figured out yesterday.
Hopefully my crystal ball is working.
Yes, mine too. I did hit the second pick. I did hit the race 3 trifecta, but it paid $21. And it went in the exact opposite order of how I had it. But I did have the one in the middle. Just the first and third switch places. Yeah. All right, so race number 3 at Goodwood tomorrow is the 5 furlong. So this is going to be a quickie. Molecomb Stakes. I thought they kicked her out of the country. Anyway, looking at 5 furlongs, it's going to start here, and it's a straightaway all the way up to here. Tom, how does that straightaway go? Up, down, sideways? What are the undulations?
You get a little bit of undulation in this course. It is, like a lot of them, are very quirky. And we, unlike our flat turf courses here, that is certainly not the case at these tracks and some of the other ones. And of course, we don't really run any straight races that are 5 or 6 furlongs long, so it does add to a whole different dimension. I mean, the only racetrack in this country that is a little quirky like English courses is really Kentucky Downs.
But they don't run straight there either.
No, they do not.
Twist and turn and all sorts.
But they don't run 5 furlongs. I think 6 or 6.5 are there, and that starts out. They put the gate in the middle of the track and let them go
in the middle of the woods and let them run out there. That's what it looks like, an old corn patch or something that they decided to put a racetrack on. All right, so in this race, Tom, this is a shorter field. Only 8 horses in this spot. 5 furlongs. How do you see the pace playing out?
Moderate.
Moderate.
I don't think any. Well, you got it's a I think it'll be the one of those races that at the 2 furlong marker, all to the end, it's just going to be all hell breaking loose.
Head, heads to tails, huh?
Yeah, and at least it stacks up that way, because I could see 3, 4, 5 of them wanting the pace, and it should be interesting to see who does emerge from the pack, so to speak, and who is the first move going to be the winning move.
And this one, they'll start to move at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern, so set your watches to that. All right, Tom, for the Markel Molecomb Stakes. May not be the first out of the gate, may not be the first to the 3 furlong marker mark. But who's going to win? Any love for looking for Linda at 100 to 1?
No, but I did take number 8, Trillium, as my top choice. Let's draw 6. It's got 2 starts, a win, and a second. It was really nice, impressive win last time out at Newbury, winning by 4 lengths. And it was a bit green in that race, to say the least. It really made a good impression, even on its first start at Goodwood. It did well there then too. So it's got a race over the track, which helps, I think, and also nice winner last time out. It got a good favorable draw. It's in the middle, got 6. I think it's going to be close to the lead. If I get 12 to 1, I'd be thrilled, but I think more like 8 to 1 is going to be the final number on this one.
Yeah, it's drifting down too. It started at 11-1, kind of popped up to 12 to 1, back to 11-1, down to 10 to 1. So it looks like some of the punters are thinking along the same lines you are.
Yeah, well, the favorite will be number 4, Rocket Rodney, with draw 8. It's got 4 starts, 2 wins, and 2 seconds. It ran second at Royal Ascot and then came right back and won at Sandown in a listed race by 2.5 lengths. It's got to be the big favorite. I would be very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
He's running Goodwood, so he's got some of that in his pocket. You get 10 to 11. I'm thinking 4 to 5 type of number.
Mm-hmm.
I would be surprised if it goes off at anything over even money. Very surprised.
If it goes off over even money, would you bump it up ahead of Trillium?
No.
All right.
My final choice is going to be number 7, Wallbank, who has draw 3. It's got 3 starts, a win, and 2 seconds. It was beaten last time out at Royal Ascot by the Riddler by a length and 3/4, and it was the favorite in that race.
And we'll see the Riddler here.
Yes, we will. And it was a Group 2 race, but I should note that this horse stumbled at the start. Won a novice at York by 7 lengths in a small field. It was only 4 horses, but still a win's a win. If you run back to that last race, don't be surprised if he can go gate to wire. I do think this is going to be one of those pace setters.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Rocket Rodney is going to sit right off whoever that pace later is. And you mentioned a horse that's going to make that move, the first to move, when there's about 2 furlongs left. I got a feeling that horse is going to be Rocket Rodney. When it makes that move and it clears the field, no one's going to catch the Rocket Rodney. But if anyone is going to do it, Thomas, it's going to be Eddie's boy at 7 to 1. We got Eddie C on the show, so we got to give Eddie's boy a little bit of love as well on the picks. Horse has been out at 5 furlongs 4 times, collected a win, a second, and a couple of thirds. I do like the fact that in that last race out, the horse made a really strong move at the end to win that race, though has faced up to this Rocket Rodney a couple times before, finished 3rd. So it's been within, shouting distance of the likely heavy favorite in the 2 times that they've matched up. I'm in agreement with you on number 7, Wallbank, as my 3rd selection in here, Tom. Wallbank is another one that's never really done anything wrong. It seems like it's one of those horses, though, that sometimes finds, my son and I, we talk about sports sometimes, and I say the good teams find a way to win and the bad teams find a way to lose. And I'm not saying that Wallbank is a bad horse, but sometimes horses find their way into trouble. It's like they refuse to have a clean race. And I had a feeling just from looking at this one, it might be one of those horses that finds trouble. And then the last one I'm going to roll with is number 6, Thundermore. I like the name. There's nothing wrong with a good named horse that you could cheer for. Last race out, pretty awful in a Group 2 race. Did face up against the Wallbank in that race and the Riddler as well. But I do think when you go back one race to that race at York at 5 furlongs, at least compared to the rest of the horses in this field, I think it stacks up against anything else behind my top 3. So I'll go ahead and take the 33-1 line with a horse that I think could finish maybe 3rd or 4th if it hits its best, just rewinds one race. Tom, before we go on to the final race that we're going to cover tomorrow, and you're going to have all your picks again like you did today in the recap, right?
Yes, I will.
Okay, fantastic. And that you'll find over at horseracingtoday.net. But what you can find over at Picks with the Professor is his play of the day. You'll see a link for the play of the day in the description here on YouTube. Also on Facebook, there is a link to his YouTube channel. Going forward, I will link directly to the show for this specific day so that you can see all of the Picks with Professors, baseball plays of the day. What do they call them over there? Nabs, right? Is that what they're called? Nabs?
Nap.
Yeah. Yeah, take a nap is what's going to happen after you pick some of these horses, right? But a dirt nap. That's probably what it's named
either that
after.
or check your coffee. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, need a taste tester. But anyway, if you're going to play baseball tonight, go with the Padres and the Tigers. The under 8.5 is the run total that Mr. Sides, thinks will be the most likely winner on the Major League Baseball ticket tonight. All right, tomorrow, the final race that Tom and I are covering is the Qatar Sussex Stakes. This is a Group 1, part of the British Championship Series. This one has a horse in here, Thomas, that might go off at 1-9. Can they go to like 1-20?
1-20.
You think that's where it's going to go off?
It'll be a 20 cent. I think at bare minimum.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like 1-10.
Yeah,
I think, and they're going to run 1 mile. So the 1 mile marker's up here, and they're going to come down this hill, and they're going to go outside. So they're going to wiggle back out and make that tight turn and run for home for the last 3 furlongs. Baid is already, Tom, at 1-6. Are you going to try to beat it?
And that kind of with that, you're about 4 or 5 furlongs out. So they got some ground to jockey for position and get going. It'll be interesting to see where this race stacks up, because I did take the Japanese horse and picked it for my 3rd choice, but this is going to be I think will be the front runner. So Baid will have a target to run at, and some other ones will too. So with that, I did take Baid as my top choice. It's kind of hard to pass on that one. 8 for 8. Considered the best racehorse in the world. I can't really argue against that right now. Yeah. Certainly on the turf it is. I mean, the only real test it ever really had was in October of last year, and that was against Palace Pier, who also happens to be a very good miler. And
I think 8 for 8 and all at 1 mile. So maybe vulnerable if they put the horse shorter than a mile or longer than a mile.
Well, I would see longer over shorter. I would be surprised if they ran the horse shorter. But, he's run on Goodwood before. It was good to soft, and, he won that one too. So
what's interesting is you have the tips, Tom,
and
there's 13 tips for Baid and 0 for
anybody else. Yeah, I know. It's just incredible. And if he slips up, anything else will pay. Let's just face it. And if he's out of the money,
if he slips up, you might think about
he's out of the money. It's all bets are off. I mean, it's just who knows what will pay.
Those place and show pools will blow up if he's off the board. There's going to be people probably making like $200,000 bets.
Yeah, remember
for it to come in 3rd.
Yeah, there's no show playing.
Even the place.
It's win place. And with that, I'm going to take the 3-year-old, number 7, Modern Games, with draw 1 as my next choice. 9 starts, 5 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. He started the season at Paris Longchamp. They were trying to keep him away from Corvus and Native Trail and run him in France. And he did very well in this, going a mile. in a Group 1 race. He was the favorite, and he won that race. And then they tried him longer. And he tried the French Derby, which is the Prix Jockey Club. And it was also Group 1. It was won by a horse by the name of Van Den, who now came over to England and at Sandown and beat older horses next out. So we know that was a good race. He finished third in that one. And Onesta came back and won his next race. Mm-hmm. So there's some good form coming out of that race in the 3-year-old and older, because that other 3-year-old came here and came to England and won. Let's face it, he's been after his Breeders' Cup win, he been in Group 1s. He's done really only one. Really, when they put him longer distances, when the problems have really started, in my opinion. I think he's a mile or less, and the question is, what's the less? Is it a mile, or is it going to be 7 furlongs or 6 furlongs? We shall see. The last race, it got beat by one of the top sprinters in France without question by a length and a half. He ran 5th. He ran second most of that race, and then just sort of dropped off. And I think I'm going to toss it. I just think that there's more horse there that meets the eye, and certainly William Buick and Charlie Appleby generally know what they're doing. And let's see what happens. Final choice is going to be that Japanese horse, number 2, Barath Leon. Was draw 5. He has 14 starts. He's won 4 times and 2/3. 2/3. His last out was in Dubai, and he won by a length and a quarter, going a mile in a Group 2 race. He's definitely a front runner. Can he steal this? Maybe. We've seen Japanese horses do some interesting things at prices. And, their races are spaced out. He's won a Group 2 in Japan. The odds should be ridiculous. And
they're rising 33 to 1, 40 to 1, 50 to 1, 66 to 1. By the time we get to tomorrow, Tom, they'll be 100 to 1.
Probably. But, it's hard to beat the Japanese records going to some of these tracks. And, whether it's in England or wherever, I think you got to watch out for him.
Yeah, you don't need it to win. Finish second behind Baid, you might actually get something worthwhile there, right?
Very possible.
All right, so 8 for 8, all at the distance. All right, that's all you need to say. Baid, top pick. Probably would prefer not to be the top pick. I do like Modern Games. Godolphin, Appleby, as you mentioned, good combination right there, along with William Buick. 2 for 2 at the distance. 5 of 9 races lifetime. So clearly, its favorite distance is the mile. Then I'm going to go with Order of Australia next, Tom. This is a horse I feel like did its work. It came over here, won the Breeders' Cup at a bomb price. Kind of after that, struggled a little bit, I'd say, to put it mildly. Had a couple of good races in there. That last race out, though, when it won that Group 2 at the Qatar in Ireland, maybe the horse has found its form again. So I'm going to bank on the horse finding its form again here in this spot. And, 20 to 1, I think it's got a decent shot to find the board. And then finally, Alcohol Free is another one of those horses that last time out, I think you and I did the Curra when that horse ran that, or Newmarket when it won last time out at 14 to 1. It's another horse that has a good history, and again, one of those light switch horses that's either on or awful. And the horse looks like that last race was a nice Group 1 win, maybe finding its form, maybe pulls off a shocker in here. And I like horses that are coming into form that have an opportunity to maybe surprise, which is so what we're looking for against a horse that's 8 for 8. So let's look at the predictor, Tom.
Well, quickly, Alcohol Free won this race last year.
So what do you think the predictor is going to say? What are the odds on Baid coming in first?
Everybody will get stuck in the gate and Baid will win.
But what do you think the predictor is? 100% that the predictor is going to have Baid first?
I would be very surprised if it didn't.
All right, let's see. Let's take a look at the predictor, see who it has coming first. Wow, it's not even close. Baid, Alcohol Free, and then everybody else. Looks like Modern Games third, Order of Australia coming in, Circuit, Angel Blue. Not a Japanese horse to be seen, Tom.
No.
Maybe they forgot to put him in. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think Shindig. Well, part of it is they don't, because these are done by their predictor is done by their form. They don't have any. The Japanese form won't be on there.
So he's off the screen.
They bring a horse in. Yeah, they bring a horse in from overseas. If it hasn't run in England, they're not going to have any
form on them, any statistics to stick in their algorithm. We didn't do the middle race, so let's do the middle race and see what that race looks like and how we laid them out. Ooh, Rocket Rodney barely getting the edge over Eddie's Boy. Look at that. And then looks like it's a close call between Wellbank, Studio City, and Trillium for third place. So we're all over those horses, Tom. Who needs a simulator? You just need you and I.
Absolutely.
We're better than a simulator.
The ball is working well. We'll hit it.
Yes, we come with commentary, with jokes, and Japanese horses. All right, Tom. So what races are we covering tomorrow at the Glorious Goodwood?
We're back in that middle card again. And let me pop this up real quick. I didn't leave it open, which I should have. Now I have to crank and make noises and
start smoking.
Yeah. It's never a dull moment.
Fire alarms going off, the water sprinklers.
There's some interesting races. I know that because I have gone through it. And we're going to start out with the Richmond Stakes, which is a 2-year-old race and lightly raced for the most part, but that could be a real challenge. And that, of course, that's a 6 furlong race. So we're in the straightaway for that one. And then we're going to do the Gordon Stakes, which is a Group 3, a little farther. They're going a mile and a half on that one. And then we're going to finish up with the not great Group 1 Nashua, or Nassau, I should say. That one is for fillies and mares, and that's a 1.25 mile race. And there's a couple in there that are really good.
So we'll be looking forward to covering that tomorrow, Tom and I. Same time, we'll be back at 6 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon. We'll do the same time on Thursday. And then on Friday, kind of working that out a little bit still. I got some stuff that came up that I got to take care of in the morning. So we're going to move that time maybe to either 2 o'clock Eastern or at the same time. I'll leave that up to Thomas, whatever's most convenient for him. Terry makes his return tomorrow. Thankfully, my back hurts from carrying the show for the week. Time to offload a little bit of that to my good friend Terry. It'll be good to see him back. Usually we do Delaware tomorrow because it's Saratoga. It's Saratoga. Saratoga, Delaware. I know it's a tough choice. Our friends in Turkey are probably going to be a little angry with us, but we're going to go with Saratoga tomorrow, Del Mar on Thursday to close out the week. As I mentioned, Tom and I will have 4 on Friday for a bigger day on Saturday at Glorious Goodwood. We're probably going to cover 5 races that day, 4 or 5 races.
4, and then pick up one in the States. Turf races in the States, we can find one. The Saturday's races are the big handicap races, and you're going to have a full gate on those races. So you will have at least 20 plus horses in each of those some of those races. So
fun for the
handicap. And there, as some people, the bettors have said, these are real good opportunities to make some money because anything can happen, and usually does.
And it does indeed. Yeah, you hit one of those, it pays for the whole week. That's the nice thing about it. You get 180 to one shot that comes on top of your trifecta, and it pays for the whole week. So, and that's a lot of fun. I call it popcorn. I call it lottery racing because it's like the lottery where they pull the balls out. Really, anything can happen. All right, Sean and I will be back in about an hour and a half with Romero Mirage to talk a little bit about his career and the best way to make sure you don't miss anything that we do, whether it's Horse Center, Foreign Fridays on Tuesdays, and then the Daily Pick Show or Spot Plays, which will be a Saturday with Eddie P, Eddie C, and Chris P. Hit the subscribe button here on
doing
YouTube.
That.
I don't know, because I think Eddie P goes to Beather and Chris C, right? The C and the C. Anyway. Make sure you
all right. I'll whatever you say. I'll just
it all makes sense up here somehow, Tom. It all fits together. So yes, make sure you hit the subscribe button to Horse Race the number 2 day for Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Our Sean will keep you up to speed. Today he posted a best bet for Mountaineer Park, so make sure you check that out. Also, make sure that you check out the Picks by the Professor. Again, links down in there. Subscribe while you're on YouTube. Hit the bell so you don't miss any of the good stuff that we're doing. And most importantly, please give us a thumbs up on Facebook. and on YouTube, the better we go in the algorithm. The better we do in their algorithms, the higher we go. Thank you, Vicky Torres, for the love. We love you too. Frandy Rogers and Ray Sturgeon for the thumbs up on Facebook. If you agree with them, give us some love, give us some thumbs up. And that's it, Tom. So no matter what you're doing for the rest of this evening, whether you're joining Sean and I, playing Mountaineer, playing Sonoma. How the hell did they get out of ASS? I don't know. Is that Canadian English? Whatever it is. We hope no matter what you're doing, that Tom doesn't end up where?
In the winner's circle.
Indeed. Until we come back tomorrow, Tom, I'm counting on you for another $500 trifecta.
I'm certainly going to try to do that.
Have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow.